The first cell phone gimbal to work with iPhones. The DJI Osmo Mobile 2. What's up, everybody? I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Now, I've been waiting for this since it was announced at CES in 2018, the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. I'm so excited. As much as I really like cell phone gimbals, I've always had a problem getting a cell phone gimbal to work with my iPhone. There's always these weird warping vibrations. I've had 5 gimbals in the last year, so this is the first one that should absolutely work with my iPhone. But before we wax too poetic over gimbals and cell phones, let's get it out of the box. The DJI Osmo Mobile 2 is DJI's newest update to their handheld gimbal platform. It comes in at a nicely priced $129, which squarely puts it in the realm of the Zhun Smooth Q and the Snopa M1. It delivers 3 axes of motorized stabilization to your phone with only a few seconds of setup required. Now, the Osmo Mobile 2 does feel a little less high-end than the Osmo Mobile 1. The Osmo Mobile 1, when it came out, was $300. The Osmo Mobile 2 is less than half of that, so there are some places where they're going to have to cut some costs to get it down to that price. Your first step in using any gimbal is to balance it prior to turning it on. You need to make sure that the cell phone is level and balanced while the gimbal is off. This makes the motors more efficient, as if it's unbalanced, you might be able to get some measure of use, but this could cause the gimbal to fail or damage your motors. There is a very nice joystick to control the phone, a record button for recording video, a zoom switch that lets you use your phone's electronic zoom, and one of the first physical updates on the Mobile 2 is the trigger was moved from the front to the back. It may be in a different spot physically, but it is the same functionality as the trigger on the Osmo Mobile 1. Another physical update is the phone holding mechanism is more like the Smooth Q with a spring system instead of the original screw locking mechanism. I prefer the spring-loaded mechanism. Yes, you can get a firmer lock on your phone with the old style, but I just like how easy it is to one-handed get your phone in the gimbal. Then with the other version, you definitely needed 2 hands to get the phone locked in. The third major update is where the locking mechanism used to be is now a way to unlock the horizontal or vertical plane of the gimbal, allowing you to use the gimbal in both landscaped and the incorrect mode. I'm kidding, I just like poking fun at taking videos or photos in portrait mode. And another very big change that I am exceedingly happy with is instead of placing the tripod mounting bracket on the side, it now mounts on the bottom. Thank you, DJI, so much for listening. You probably weren't listening to me, but thank you for listening to somebody, because I definitely prefer this on the bottom. Yeah, you cannot physically remove the batteries anymore. It is now a physical unremovable battery, but I prefer having the screw on the bottom so much. I never actually took my battery out of my DJI Osmo Mobile 1. The Osmo Mobile 2 has a 2600 milliamp hour built-in battery that lasts a reported 15 hours. That is way more than the original, and you can use the Mobile 2 to charge your cell phone at the same time, which, like I've said before, I just love it when gear can pull double duty. Now, once you do have the cell phone installed in the gimbal correctly, you can use either your favorite camera app, or you can use the DJI Go app. I prefer using the DJI Go because it brings a whole other level of functionality to it. One of the benefits of using a cell phone gimbal over, let's say, an action camera gimbal is cell phones have a lot of processing power inside of that. So a cell phone gimbal can take advantage of that and give you lots of really awesome advanced camera features inside of the gimbal app. Features such as active tracking, motion time lapse, and hyperlapse are some of the ones that come with the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Now inside the app, you can also take manual controls over the phone's camera, which is awesome because trying to change up like the video resolution in the camera app on the iPhone is so frustrating. You can't just change in the app, you gotta change it in the system settings itself. So being able to change that on the fly, really awesome. So we're gonna talk about a feature that I have not heard anybody else talk about with the Osmo Mobile 2, and that is the two scene modes. There is sport mode and there is walk mode. Now, sport mode makes the gimbal move fast to try to keep up with the action if you're doing a sport, like riding a bicycle or something. Walk mode slows the gimbal down, so when you take a step, the gimbal's more deliberate. Now, like we said before, I have found cell phone gimbals to be almost unusable with my iPhone. One of the reasons I was very excited for a whole new range of mid-range camera cell phones coming out in CES was that I'd be able to get a decent cell phone camera that could work with a gimbal. I've got a whole series of videos about iPhones and gimbals and the problems that come with that, so I'll leave those linked up top, so I won't talk about them too much, but the stabilization between the two fights each other. However, with this new walk mode slowing the gimbal down, what I've noticed is that there's not as much fight between the two stabilizations, and I have not seen any warping through walking in this gimbal. Like that does it for me. Like that is I've only been using it for 2 days now, but that seriously wins. Like that wins. Like this has been 2 products in a row that DJI has just crushed it. So the walk mode, so good. So what, right? So should you buy a DJI Osmo Mobile 2? Yes. If you are looking for a cell phone gimbal and you use an iPhone, you should absolutely get the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. It is the cheapest, best quality gimbal you're gonna find on the market today that works with your phone. The Osmo Mobile 1 also now has the walk function, but even it's still $159 and doesn't have as good a battery life and has a very frustrating charging and tripod mounting thing. Like it's a frustrating piece of technology. I highly recommend the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. It is that good. There's 3 major features on why I recommend this over anything else. 1, the walk mode. Hands down, I would recommend it on the walk mode by itself. But 2, it's got the tripod mounting on the bottom, and 3, it's got a micro USB charger. You don't have to deal with the craziness of the DJI Osmo Mobile 1, which had that 3.5mm in power cord that nobody ever sells. So if you forgot it, you just weren't using your gimbal on that trip. Not saying that happened to somebody, but I highly recommend the Osmo Mobile 2. I will be bringing it with me everywhere I go from now on because it is really great. Well, hey, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button down below. We do cheapest tech reviews every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that I finally found a gimbal that works with my phone, you can figure it out. Seriously, if you're looking for a cell phone gimbal and you have an iPhone, the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Seriously. Thanks for watching.